I became a police officer in Bozeman, Montana, because I believed the truth could always be found if you looked hard enough. For 7 years, my body camera had recorded everything from routine traffic stops to dangerous arrests, and it had never failed me. That changed on a cold October night when dispatch sent me to investigate an abandoned farmhouse 20 miles outside the city. The caller had whispered only one sentence before hanging up. The officer inside isn't the same one who arrived. Since I was the closest unit, I drove there alone, thinking it was another prank call. I had no idea that before sunrise, my own body camera would become the only witness to something no one would believe. The farmhouse stood alone beneath a sky filled with heavy clouds. The windows were boarded shut, and the front gate hung crooked from rusted hinges. As I stepped out of my patrol car, my body camera activated automatically with its familiar beep. Everything felt strangely quiet. Even the wind had stopped. Dispatch radioed me, asking for a status update, but before I could answer, a second voice came through the speaker. It sounded exactly like mine. "Everything's clear," it said. "Tell everyone to stay away." I froze. I hadn't spoken a single word. Dispatch immediately acknowledged the message, believing it had come from me. Thinking it was a radio malfunction, I walked toward the farmhouse with my flashlight raised. The front door creaked open before I even touched it. Inside, thick dust covered the furniture as if nobody had lived there for decades. Yet muddy boot prints led deeper into the house. I followed them carefully until they disappeared in front of an old staircase leading to the basement. Just then, my body camera beeped again. It had detected movement behind me. I turned instantly, but the hallway was empty. When I looked at the camera's tiny display, however, the playback thumbnail clearly showed a police officer standing only a few feet behind me. My heart began racing. I replayed the clip, expecting a glitch. The officer wore my exact uniform. My badge number matched. My name tag read, Officer Daniel Hayes. The only difference was his face. Instead of eyes, there were two dark, empty shadows. Before I could watch any longer, the screen flickered and displayed a message that had never appeared before. Live audio detected from future recording. Then my own voice whispered through the camera speaker, "Don't go into the basement. That's where I disappeared." Every instinct told me to leave, but curiosity pulled me forward. I descended the old wooden stairs one careful step at a time. The basement smelled damp, and water dripped steadily from cracked pipes overhead. My flashlight revealed shelves lined with broken jars and rusted farming tools. At the far end of the room stood another police body camera resting on a workbench. It looked identical to mine except for one detail. Its evidence tag showed tomorrow's date. I picked it up with trembling hands. The battery somehow powered on by itself, and a video immediately began playing. The recording showed me walking through the same basement exactly 24 hours in the future. I watched myself approach the workbench before suddenly stopping. Someone behind the camera asked, "Did you hear it?" Future me slowly nodded without turning around. Then he whispered, "It's learning my voice." The video ended abruptly with loud static and a terrified scream that echoed through the basement. At that exact moment, my own body camera spoke again. "It's behind you now." I spun around so quickly that my flashlight slipped from my hand. Darkness swallowed the room, except for the blinking red recording light on my camera. Somewhere in the shadows, slow footsteps echoed across the concrete floor. They sounded exactly like my own boots. One step, then another. The footsteps stopped only inches away, yet when I pointed the flashlight toward the sound, nothing was there. My camera suddenly rewound itself without me touching it. On the screen, I watched myself standing alone in the basement. Then a second version of me quietly walked into frame and placed one hand on my shoulder. I ran upstairs without looking back. As I reached the front door, it slammed shut with enough force to shake the entire house. Every window shattered at the same time. My police radio crackled loudly. Dispatch sounded confused. "Officer Hayes," the dispatcher asked, "why did you just request backup from inside the basement?" I stared at the radio in disbelief. I had never transmitted anything. Then another voice answered using my call sign. "Too late," it said calmly. "He already found me." Outside, blue and red lights finally appeared as 2 patrol cars arrived. Relief flooded through me until the officers stepped out. Both of them stared at me with puzzled expressions. One officer slowly raised his weapon. "Daniel," he said carefully, "how did you get outside?" I looked at him in confusion. "I never left," I answered. He shook his head. "We've been watching your body camera feed for the last 20 minutes. You're still standing in the basement." He turned his tablet toward me. The live body camera feed showed me standing underground with my back to the camera, completely motionless. The timestamp matched the current time. My hands began shaking uncontrollably. I looked down at my own camera. It was still recording normally. Yet according to dispatch, I had never walked out of the farmhouse. The officer reached for my shoulder, but suddenly his radio erupted with my voice. "Don't touch him," it warned. "Only one of us gets to leave." Before anyone could react, every police radio in the area began broadcasting the same message. My voice repeated over and over, "Evidence has been replaced." Officers covered their ears as deafening feedback echoed across the property. Then every patrol car switched on its headlights at once, illuminating the farmhouse. Standing in an upstairs window was a police officer wearing my uniform. He smiled and slowly raised one hand in a friendly wave before disappearing back into the darkness. The SWAT team arrived less than 15 minutes later. They searched every room of the farmhouse, including the basement. They found nothing unusual. No second officer, no extra body camera, no footprints besides mine. According to their report, the basement had only one entrance and one exit. It should have been impossible for anyone else to escape. Yet when detectives reviewed my body camera footage at the station, something impossible appeared. Throughout the entire recording, a second officer followed me silently from room to room. None of us had ever noticed him while we were inside the house. The footage was immediately locked away as evidence, and I was placed on administrative leave pending a psychological evaluation. My captain insisted the second figure was only a video artifact caused by corrupted footage. I wanted to believe him. But late that night, while sitting alone in my apartment, I received an email from the department's evidence server. There was no sender, no subject line, only a single attached video labeled "Final Recording." With trembling hands, I opened the file. The video showed my body camera lying on the basement floor after I had supposedly escaped. A pair of black police boots slowly walked into view. Someone bent down and picked up the camera. When the figure finally looked into the lens, my blood turned to ice. It was me. Same face, same badge, same uniform. The duplicate smiled naturally and spoke in my voice. "Thank you for leaving yours behind," it said. "Mine stopped recording years ago." I slammed my laptop shut and tried convincing myself it was an elaborate prank. The next morning I drove to the police station to hand in my equipment. As I entered the locker room, every officer suddenly stopped talking and stared at me in complete silence. My captain approached slowly, holding my body camera in his hand. "Daniel," he said quietly, "why does your camera show you arriving for work an hour ago?" I checked the time. I had just pulled into the parking lot. He pressed play. The footage showed me smiling, greeting every officer by name, and walking calmly into the evidence room. I had no memory of any of it. That afternoon, investigators searched the evidence room. My body camera was missing. So was the mysterious footage from the farmhouse. Security cameras captured only one person removing both items. The officer on the recording had my face, my badge, and my uniform. Before leaving the building, he looked directly into the security camera and smiled. Then he removed his body camera, placed it carefully on the floor, and walked out without casting a single shadow. Since that day, every new police recruit in our department receives the same warning before activating their first body camera. If your radio suddenly hears your voice before you speak, don't answer it. Someone else may already be wearing your badge.